And hello again, everyone. I'm Leah Secondo. Welcome to a special edition of Turf Talk from the Final Four as we get set to go on Friday for our two semifinal matches. So pleased to be joined with Hannah Prince, the head coach of St. Joe's. A lot of history going on here this weekend for the program. Don't want to make too big of a deal of it, but it is a big deal with St. Joe's first chance at a Final Four. You must be really proud of this squad.
I cannot say enough good words about this team. We are so excited to be here and just to put in such hard work this season. And the girls are just so honored and privileged. But yeah, the work's not done yet.
The progression to get here through the A10s, the competition, the non-conference schedule, how important do you feel like looking back at the non-conference play that kind of sets you up for this role to be here this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. We obviously schedule as hard as we possibly can so that we're preparing the girls for the postseason. And we went on, a really awesome journey this season with some great opponents and having a lot of success in those games. And like you said, it really did help us prepare us for, A10 conference play and the NCAA's last weekend.
Keeping the players even keel going into tomorrow. You're coming off of 2 shutout victories, phenomenal games, both of them. Just finding that balance so the players enjoy the moment, but focus in on tomorrow. Some of your thoughts on words that you shared with the team.
Yeah, I think like you said, it is about enjoying the journey, having fun, being in the moment. We talk a lot about that. We've had some themes throughout the season about staying in the now. That's been a really fun one for us. Being gritty is another fun one for us. But being locked in, that was actually our theme last week, is just to be incredibly locked in, whether it's in training and treatment and video, in school, just to, get organized and be as prepared as possible so that come game day, they can be focused and just absolutely hungrier than ever.
Little love for the A10. It's first time 2 representatives from the A10. Of course, your former school, the other school in UMass as part of this Final Four. Just, that piece of it, because it hasn't hurt. Everybody talks about Big Ten, ACC all the time, but some love for the A10.
Absolutely. And UMass being my alma mater, I'm incredibly proud to be, in a way, representing both schools as I'm a very proud alum. And just the rivalry we have between St. Joe's and UMass is definitely intense and awesome, and something that I really value and our team values. And we really respect them and wish them the best luck this weekend.
And as far as keys to victory, you guys didn't play UNC this season. A little bit different. Normally, that's part of the mix-up. And obviously, with them being undefeated right now, you never want to go out with that loss at this time of the year. But some of your keys defensively on the attack against them.
Yeah, definitely. I think last couple weekends, we've played really stingy defense, really trying to tackle the ball outside the circle, get numbers around the ball just to create some chaos for our opponent. So just that stingy defense mentality. And then on the ball, we're really looking to capitalize on our counterattack.
The piece of it with playing at this field, in this facility, one of the state-of-the-art facilities in all the women's field hockey in this venue. What do you expect from fans coming from, say, Philly? It's Philly, right? Snow is part of the gig here, but some of the thoughts on being on the surface in the facilities here.
Yeah, we're honored to be here. We've actually were able to come here last year for a game against Michigan, and we were at Michigan State as well. So familiar territory, but I love the facility. Super grateful to be here, and I think we have a great crew coming tomorrow. And I've heard the game's sold out, so
can't get any better than that. You've got a strong nucleus of players, 9 international players involved, heavy senior laden class, who went through a heck of a lot during their 6 years, and there's no question about it that it was trying times for everybody. But how do you feel as though that piece for the Hawks has set you up for this weekend?
Yeah, I cannot say enough positive words about our leadership group on the team. I try to speak about them as much as possible because they really deserve the recognition. Those seniors that chose to come back and play their fifth year, as well as the transfers that we had join us for their 5th year, are some incredible people and incredible players, and they really have led this team to success, and we'll continue to do that tomorrow.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it on Turf Talk. We're going to take a quick timeout and be back with more Turf Talk after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to Turf Talk. Your host, Leah Secondo, presented by Longstreth, and I'm happy to be joined right now by the head coach of the University of North Carolina, and Aaron Matson, and welcome back to the Final Four.
Thank you.
It's kind of a record occurrence on the schedule of the season as we get to this point. The thought process coming in, obviously coming off of two very decisive matches, setting precedent with the program and shutting out both teams in previous games. Some of your thoughts. Solid defense continues to carry through.
Yeah, solid defense for sure. They're just taking a lot of pride in it, and they're not overcomplicating it. I think you can tell that they're being really skillful on defense, which isn't always a sentence or a phrase that you hear, and we're really proud of that. And then I think what's helping us a ton this year is the fact that we're playing so well on defense, so that we can turn it into attack rather than ending it there, and turning over the ball again. But we're seeing just really good defensive efforts from all of our lines, but especially our defenders and goalkeeper, and then the ability to keep possession and use the transition and capitalize.
So going back to the last, let's say 5 or 6 years, obviously, that you've been connected with the program, and I'm not trying to compare teams, but the balance that this squad has compared to some of the teams of the past as you're at this point.
Yeah, I definitely think it's different. I think that's the beauty in every year and every different team, but there is such a defensive presence and just attitude with this team, while also having the attacking presence and attitude too. And I think that's really special, where I think looking back on the teams I've been on or last year's team and everything, it's rare to find such a strong balance on both sides of the field. So leaning into that, but again, not getting ahead of ourselves.
Exactly. And some pride in the defense. Obviously, Abigail Taylor has done what she needs to do in goal, but the love, I think, sometimes gets a little lost. They're a little scared with what somebody like Asitska Bruni is doing in the middle of the field, and her impact on both sides of the ball, setting the defense through the attack.
Yeah, I think Abigail, like you said, she's saved what she's needed to save and come up big in some really crucial moments and momentum turning moments and done her job. But honestly, exactly like you said, we've prevented the ball even getting to her a lot. And that comes from work from Sitska, Siana, Kelly's on a couple more stat sheets maybe and getting maybe some more recognition, but Grace, Hope, like people who they're not all over Twitter. They're not all over, gaining tons of awards and this and that, but they're playing a huge part in just being pretty locked down. So, and Seats, I mean, she's a force. She's someone that we rely on, like you said, both defensively and attacking wise. And she's really versatile. So it's great to have her be able to play in the back. And then when we need her to push up, get her in the center mid position. But team has a lot of confidence in her and honestly the entire backfield line.
And a lot of confidence as well on both sides of the ball. So with St. Joe's as your opponent, I didn't see them in the regular season this year, which was a little bit different when going through the schedule, trying to come up with some notes for the game. But some of your thoughts on attack and defensively is what St. Joe's presents.
Yeah, they like their right side attack. So we're just going to try to manage that, and they make it chaotic in the circle. So they're hitting hard balls in. They're getting to the spillage first. They're getting to the rebounds first, and they're really good at creating those moments and just getting to it and making something out of it. So we need to be locked in for the entire 60 minutes and make sure that we handle the right side of the field and force them back out and play good defense. But if they do get, into our 25, into our circle, that we're not falling asleep, that we're moving our feet, that we're not allowing any cheap corners, because their corners are also a big threat. And they have many variations. So, definitely. We went over the scout yesterday with the field play, and then we did the corners this morning with the APC and DPC units. And our girls have all the information they need, but they know we can't be ignoring anything that St. Joe's is doing.
Always good to see you. Always good to talk to you. When it's this time of year, it's a good thing because it's the last week of the regular season. Yeah. So good luck this weekend and take care.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a quick time out on the show, and we come back more with Turf Talk after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to Turf Talk. Leah Secondo, and I'm now pleased to be joined by the Wildcats head coach in Tracy Fuchs. And Tracy, welcome back.
Yeah,
This field has been good to you guys, and I'm sure you're looking for that little juju to continue on this weekend with the squad. You guys were having a great time out in practice, but focused. Just trying to mix it up a little bit with the players.
Yeah, I mean, we've been loose, basically all month. I mean, once you get to this point, pretty much the tactics are done. You just have to go out and play your best. And I think keeping it loose with that focus when you need to is the best formula for a winning team.
Lauren Wattis, certainly one of the many key pieces for you guys, and what she has done in her career is pretty phenomenal, both in the classroom and on the field for you. As this team revs up for the weekend, just a little bit about Lauren and maybe Maddie and the addition of Ashley.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren's been our glue the entire year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. I mean, she might not get all the flashy goals or have all the statistics, but, when the game's on the line, Lauren Wattis wants the ball. And then to have people like Maddie Zimmer, who's a world-class player, and Ashley Sessa, who's a world-class forward, only helps her thrive and be her best. So we're excited to have her. We're hoping we have her for 2 more games, but we're facing a good UMass team, so we'll be ready to go.
Saw that UMass squad a little bit earlier in the season. Seems like so long ago with a 6-1 victory over them. Just how you feel your team has changed and how you feel in the scout. They might have changed a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, we didn't even watch that game at all. It's so long ago. Both teams are 40-50% better, doing slightly different things. They've had a great run the last month here. They've been in some tough battles, and they haven't been here for a while. They're going to go out and give us everything they have. So we've got to be ready to play from that first whistle and kind of take it to them.
We were looking at the conversion rates for all the teams on the corners, and it's interesting how the progression, especially like the last 3 weeks of the season for a lot of squads, many of them progressed deep into the NCAAs, has improved. What are you looking for as a number on a conversion rate, both in a game and overall in the season?
Yeah, one, we're looking for execution. It's got to be a good push out, a good trap, and then get something on goal. But I mean, if you want to win a national championship, you have to be somewhere between 20% and 30%. Corners are a little bit stingier in this part of the season. You don't get maybe the 8 to 12 that you get during the regular season. So you've got to go 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 if you want to be in that championship game on Sunday.
Keys for the team for success, both on the attack and defensively this week.
Yeah, attack-wise, we're going to go with our staples. So we want to play really, really quickly. We've got a good rotation where we sub a lot. So whistles mean go. We want to attack the outsides, and then on the defensive side, make sure we're compact, make sure we're making tackles outside the circle, and make sure we're taking care of the details, not giving up any upgrade corners, be 6 yards away instead of 5, and really having that mentality of staying cool and not making a silly mistake by throwing it off the end line or touching the ball after the whistle.
Hey, I've got to ask you, just because of the generation that you played, now that you're coaching, you've seen this game progress in a lot of different ways, both in equipment, facilities, what the athletes have the ability to. What kind of sticks out in your mind is, we get set to go for this weekend. It's going to be a sold-out house.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's amazing for the sport. Hopefully, in the future, we'll be live on TV for both Friday and Sunday. I think that's the next step, and we're ready for it. But it's a different game. I mean, it's so fast, fluid. Whistles mean go. They don't mean stop anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of whistles, but watch a football game. There's a whistle every 7 seconds. But the skill, the speed, the athleticism of the players is just a bit higher with all the technology we have now. So, I'm excited for an amazing event of some really athletic women this weekend.
All right, awesome. Tracy, always
Is that
good to
all
see
right?
you. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Tracy Fuchs, head coach of Northwestern, will be back with a little bit more after these messages. Stay with
All
us.
right, go Cats. Good.
And welcome back to Turf Talk presented by Longstreth. I'm happy to be joined now by the head coach of the University of Massachusetts back in the Final Four, and Barb Weinberg. And Barb, as your team approaches your match with Northwestern, what a great run towards the end.
It's been wild.
You wonder, you're always there. You believe in your players. You hope that they get it. Then you start seeing them get it, and it starts manifesting, I think, through the rest of the team. When did you kind of feel like, okay, we've got something good going on here with this group?
It was definitely after our St. Joe's win in the regular season. And the belief was there. We had put a lot of great games out and just had lost a lot of big ones marginally. Mm-hmm. And after that St. Joe's win, the belief was there that not only do we have the potential, but we have it. And from then on, the team's been rolling. I think it's really special. We got another chance at UConn and another chance at Harvard.
Exactly.
And they're fearless right now. The belief is there that when they play together, they can accomplish anything.
So you get into this venue here, and obviously it's great. You've experienced it as a player along the way too with your days in Iowa. But you want them to enjoy it, but you got to stay focused. It's a business trip. How do you find that balance with a group that hasn't been here before?
I think all season long, this team has had that. And we don't, it's okay to have a laugh and they have a great time together. And we never really have to harp on them it's time to get down to business. So that culture was already instilled, and the Final Four is going to be no different. They've been in the hotel laughing, having a great time. They came out here and had a great training session and got it done. And I'm not worried about that.
Well, an opportunity to also avenge an earlier season loss to Northwestern, and then that would be 3 teams that they played in the regular season be able to do that. How is your team matured, and how do you see the team different as you get on the pitch tomorrow against them?
We've come a long way in 3 months, as all teams have, and we learned from that first game, but we've also learned every step of the way against every opponent that we've played. And Northwestern, no doubt, they have a ton of talent across the board. They're a great team, and we'll be much more prepared this time going into tomorrow.
Let's talk a little bit about Myrta in goal and what she has presented in the tall task that she has. But she seems fearless. We were watching her in practice today, and not afraid to come out, not afraid to challenge anybody. It's just some of your thoughts on her.
She's a competitor. She's explosive. She's agile. She's athletic. In my opinion, she's one of the best goalkeepers in the country. And she's going to compete tomorrow. I think anytime an opponent's facing her, she makes them work to put the ball in the net.
Little bit of you and her and you?
I think so. She's got a couple of inches on me. But we have a special relationship, and I can coach her very directly and tell her how it is. And she gives me feedback as well. And that's been a great working relationship.
Barb, you've been around some great mentors of the game along the way. And certainly some people in UMass's past, coaching-wise, that have been important to the game, important in women's athletics. Who are someone or a few coaches that you've been around, people who've been around that have helped you along the way to get to this weekend, to get to this point?
Goodness, it's hard to even pick a couple. I've been really blessed in my time in my path in coaching. First of all, Lisa Salucci, the head coach at Iowa. She was my assistant coach when I played at Iowa. She's been my biggest mentor and support, along with Tracy Griesbaum, who was my head coach at Iowa. And still to this day, I'm in touch with them constantly for some advice. And then in the coaching realm, being able to work with Missy Maharg, Steve Jennings, and Jen Averill, I think you can't ask for a better lineup. They're legends in their own right, and they're both different, different areas of expertise and what they're really, really good at. And I learn from each of them. So to be able to take that into my coaching style has been special.
Couple of keys for you guys tomorrow, both on the attack and defensively.
Sure. Definitely, we have to play team hockey. It's our biggest UMass strength. It's a non-negotiable against a team like Northwestern. So with and without the ball, we're looking to press as a unit, and we're looking to connect as a unit with the ball.
Congratulations.
Yes.
UMass back on the map. Old school UMass back in the day. If you follow any type of women's hockey back in the day, they were really the starters with the teams in the Northeast. So great match, great season. Catch you tomorrow against Northwestern. Doubleheader action, semifinal action. We're going to take a time out here on Turf Talk and be back with more after these messages. Stay with us.
Thanks, Leah.
Welcome back to our final segment of the show. Of course, this big weekend in field hockey, the final weekend of field hockey in the regular season. So with that, let's go through in which is fabulous. And you'll be able to catch those anytime you want, watching D1, D2, and D3 Evergreen on NCAA.com. Just go to their video clipboard, and you should be able to find each of the division's championships and also the recaps of every single game, Evergreen, on NCAA.com's website. That's going to do it for this edition of Turf Talk on this final weekend of the regular season for field hockey and the championship weekend that we are. I'm here in Michigan, University of Michigan. Beautiful field. This will be the third time that the University of Michigan has hosted a national championship. The folks here do a fabulous job, really make these student athletes feel extremely special, as they should, for fabulous seasons that they've all had. So we'll have 3 crown champions come Sunday. Next week's show, we'll wrap up the regular season for this great sport of field hockey. We hope you'll join us at that time. But for now, good luck to all the teams that are participating. Great job by all the teams, obviously all season long, in playing this great sport. And remember, always continue to grow the game. So long, everybody.